from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, June 11th. So welcome to June 11th. It's a very pivotal day. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, you're about to be filled in a big way, but I do recommend that you go back, you listen to June's energy intro. That's going to tell you why this is a very pivotal day. I want you to go ahead, listen to the ascension forecast for this week because things are about to pop off in a big way. Why, you may ask? Well, that's because we have Pluto going retrograde, creeping back into this Capricorn energy, and just hours later we have Mercury, ruler of Gemini season, moving out of Taurus energy, finally, and moving into his place of power in Gemini. This is going to pop off in big ways. Even more than that, we have the moon, who, of course, has been in Pisces energy. We just had our last quarter moon in Pisces, wrapping things up, bringing things to a completion, really helping us to heal and sort out what it is that we kind of have to focus on moving forward. And in a beautiful, divine coincidence, if you believe in such things, we have the moon moving in Aries today. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. We're starting off a brand new emotional lunar cycle. At the same time, we're looking back with different set of eyes to old foundations, old structures, old timelines, old issues with Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn, with the new perspective, the new understanding, the new perception, Mercury in Gemini, quickly processing, sorting through all of the things that we didn't bring to a full completion back in March when we had Pluto actually dip out of that Capricorn energy for the first time since 2008 and move into Aquarian energy. I cannot tell you how busy today is going to be. There are 17 different aspects today. 17. That's huge. 9 of them are going to involve the moon. So we have the moon still in Pisces up until about 9:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. At that time, we're going to see the moon go void, of course. Shortly thereafter, we will lock into the moon in Aries. A little bit of a tidbit of information for you. Anytime we are moving from the very emotional, highly intuitive, very sentimental, very sensitive, full circle completion energy of Pisces to the fiery, straightforward, rip the rear view mirror off the car, we ain't looking back type of energy of Aries, there is definitely a shift. It is palpable. We have a lot going on, so just kind of keep an open mind, pay attention to your body, listen to the signals, because the energy is going to be extremely intense here all day. So let's jump into it. 46 minutes after the day begins, we have Pluto moving into Capricorn energy. There's an astro forecast about it. I'm going to recommend you go listen to it. I go into a little bit more depth, a little bit more detail than what I'm able to do in this forecast. You want to go and listen to that. You want to understand what is going on. We are doing a divine dance, a cha-cha-cha, if you will, from now until November of 2024 with Pluto, the great transformer himself. We have to do things right this time, guys. We're going back with a fresh set of eyes. We've learned a lot. We have a different perspective. We've literally changed ourselves. We're a new version of ourselves. We're new timelines. So now we got to go back, face the music, if you will. A lot of the things that we were trying to overcome since 2008 are going to come back fresh in our faces in order for us to see them from a different set of eyes, a higher level of intelligence and consciousness. We're going to wrap these life lessons up for good. Now, we have Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger, in Leo energy, the heart and soul of the zodiac, really pushing us to exert ourselves, to go after the path, the pursuit of happiness, new passions, new desires. We want to express ourselves. We want to take action. We want to make moves. We haven't been able to do it thus far. Mars is interacting with Neptune. Neptune, of course, in his place of power in Pisces energy, rules over our intuition, our spirituality, our dreams, our vision, our imagination, our healing. And this particular interaction, if you will, is going to ignite the fire inside of us. We are being inspired. We are motivated. We are damn well determined that we are going to make things happen. We are not going to let the blockages, the obstacles, the challenges keep us from creating a life that is absolutely in alignment with our heart and soul. So we're being downloaded with new dreams, new vision, new creative ideas, new intuitive insights that's really going to get the fire just a burning in our heart space. Of course, we have to get our heart and head aligned before we can engage the physical body to take action, which of course Mars rules over, but we're almost there. Now, the moon in Pisces energy is going to come up to bump into conjunct Neptune. Neptune in Pisces energy, of course, for the last God knows how long. We are at the final degrees of Pisces energy, so it only makes sense that when the moon is at the final degrees of Pisces energy that we have this little interaction. Let me tell you about this interaction. It can go one of two ways. You are either very dreamy, very inspired, very spiritually in tuned. You are feeling refreshed, feeling rejuvenated, feeling renewed, not only in your faith, but in your emotions, in your mental plane, in your passions, in your desires, really starting to see where it is that we are starting fresh. We're entering into a brand new chapter. Or you could be so freaking overwhelmed with life that you don't even know where to start, picking up on the subtle energies of outside experiences, other people, because you have not the strongest energetic boundaries, which I'm sure you need to be working on here in the year of 7, because of course balance is key. We have to find a new stable common ground, a grounded point within ourselves, the relationship with ourselves, the relationship with other people, the relationship with the world around us, so that we are not rocked, we are not swayed by the external situations that are about to pop off and that have been popping off. This is building up our faith, building up our discipline, building up our inner realm. Now, if you're overwhelmed, you definitely are going to want to numb. You're going to want to distract yourself. You're going to want to live in la la land. If that's what you need to do, then by all means do it. But please do not avoid the tougher parts of life because, of course, Neptune will be going retrograde at the end of this month, which means that the rose-colored glasses get slapped off of your face. You have no choice but to confront what it is that you've been avoiding. So you may as well start now. Hopefully, we will all see the energies kind of manifest in the first kind of situation, because of course that is a lot more pleasurable, a lot more positive. But if you fall into the second category, just know that you are about to be shifted in a brand new way. The moon will then interact with Mars. And of course, this brings kind of the same element out as the earlier aspect with Mars and Neptune, because of course, the moon is in Pisces energy that Neptune rules over. So this again is trying to emotionally refine us to a place of inspiration, of motivation, of being determined in order to kind of set our sights on what needs to be done, on where it is that we want to take action, on how it is that we are going to proceed in the pursuit of happiness. And we are trying to emotionally refine, getting in check, getting in gear, and really kind of trusting not only the greater, grander process, but in ourselves that we have the ability to do it. Here is a fun interaction, a fun fact. Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of communication, information, how we express ourselves, who of course is at the final degrees of Taurus energy, preparing to move into Gemini energy, is going to trine with Pluto, who just retrograded back in the Capricorn energy. This is because Pluto's at the final degrees of Capricorn energy, the 29th degree, while Mercury is at the 29th degree of Taurus energy. What we get is Earth on Earth. What happens when we have Earth on Earth is there's a major focus on our physical realms. What is working, what isn't, what is changing, what is not, what needs to change, and where we're resistant to making those changes. Mercury and Pluto work together in order to have an aha moment, an epiphany in the deepest part of our psyche so that we can peel back the layers and really examine what the effing problem is. Okay, this is detective mode. This is aha moment mode. This is problem solving mode. This is going to be the trigger and activation that we are going to jump in and try to solve right away, because just a couple of minutes later, 4 minutes to be exact, Mercury is going to move into its place of power in Gemini. This is where the universe hits the fast forward button. This is where we also hit that nitro button, where there's a lot of pressure in the mental plane because we have a lot of things to think about, a lot of things to process. We have a lot going on in our headspace. We are going to need to make up for lost time. We are definitely hitting the green light go ahead to try and get our headspace in the right frame of mind in order to align with our emotional realm so that we can get started engaging the physical body and taking the actions that we need in order to create this new reality. Now, the moon is going to sextile, beautiful energy, with Pluto. This is the last aspect that the moon in Pisces is going to make before going void, of course, and of course shifting into that Aries energy. The moon sextiling with Pluto is going to create an intense energy, an intense spiritual energy, strong intuition, strong insights coming in. We are feeling a change, feeling a transformation. We can't quite put our finger on it, but we are ready to boss up in ways that we've been running away from. And this is the empowerment journey that we are on. And emotionally speaking, we are ready again to rip the rearview mirror off of the car. We're not looking back, we're only looking forward. This is when the moon goes void, of course. The moon is only void for approximately 20 minutes. Lucky for us, then the moon shifts into Aries energy. The very first aspect that the moon in Aries is going to make is a sextile, beautiful energy with Mercury, who just moved into his place of power in Gemini. What do we get when we have a fire and an air energy? This is when creativity sparks, when inspiration sparks, when passion comes into fruition. This is when we're all revved up. We're trying to get motivated and inspired, really bringing those new ideas to life. This is a beautiful energy because it means that our heart and our head are on the same page, which means that we are just steps away from engaging the physical body and able to take action on the things that we've been stunted out in actually taking action on. And of course, we've been trying to sort out in our emotional and mental realm what the best course is, what the best plan is, what the best strategy is. And of course, we should have been taking notes, making calculated moves in our mind space, in our emotional space, in order to sort out the best possible path. Venus, though, is going to get into the boxing ring with Jupiter. So Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and worth and pleasure and money in Leo energy, the heart and soul of the zodiac. Jupiter, of course, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings in Taurus energy. And again, keep in mind that Venus rules over Taurus energy that Jupiter is currently in. So what we get here is a little bit of a conflict. What are we conflicting about? Well, we're not really happy with our current circumstances. Why aren't we happy with our current circumstances? Well, because most of those circumstances have been based off of the ego realm of our vision. And now in the Leo energy, our heart and soul is being rocked, being activated, showing us where it is that we're not living authentically. And now we have a deep-seated desire in order to kind of get rid of all of the things in our physical realm, routines, relationships, money matters, resources that are not in alignment with our heart and soul. Jupiter is shining a bright light, magnifying, turn the volume all the way up on where this discontent, where this dissatisfaction is, because these are the topics and themes that are going to have to be reviewed, reevaluated, reworked, redone when Venus goes retrograde in this Leo energy in July. The moon is then going to bump into the true node. The true node is our soul path, our destiny point. The moon interacting with the true node at this particular point in time is really setting up us for pause. Why? Because the true node needs us to get on this right path so that we can grow, so that we can heal. The moon in Aries, all very much eager to do so. However, we really don't want to sit around and contemplate strategy. We just kind of want to go balls to the walls, take action, make a move, and see what happens from there. Now, that is both a pro and a con. There is a certain amount of risk that we do need to take in order to bust out of the confines of the space in which we've created, but not take so much of a risk that we haven't thought about it. We haven't taken the opportunity to see the variables of how this could turn out. The sun then goes ahead and semi-squares Jupiter. The sun is in Gemini energy, shining a bright light on our mental plane, on our thoughts, on the process that we need to kind of walk through in our mental plane in order to sort out the pros and cons, the good and bad. The Gemini energy is illuminating two different paths, directions, choice, decisions that we have in front of us. We've been on the fence about it. As we get nearer and nearer to the new moon in Gemini that will be taking place on the 18th, we will have doors closed, which means that options and opportunities being removed off of the table. We will then kind of reorient ourselves, examine the doors that are still open, and if we are not satisfied with those particular options and opportunities, you best believe that we are going to be put in a position where we are going to have to create the opportunities for ourselves. The sun semi-squaring with Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, is adding a little bit of tension, a little bit of friction, because right now we have so much change going on that it is a natural disposition for us to go back to what is tried, tested, and true, what is familiar, what is comfortable. But we all know that there's no growth in comfort. And therefore Jupiter is saying, hey, you want to grow, you want to create new opportunities, you want to build a new life, but yet you're not willing to do anything about it. How do you expect this to go? And then of course we're stuck in our mental plane debating the pros and cons and arguing with ourselves back and forth in that Gemini energy in order to see where it is that a new path, a new door has has to open up for us that really does create a level of excitement and inspiration and motivation that we haven't had in a very long time. The moon in Aries will then go ahead, make an interaction with Jupiter. Now we're all revved up. We're ready to go. We want to take the lead. We want to push forward. We don't care about where it is that we're coming from. We only care about where it is that we want to go. The moon will then semi-square with Uranus, the Great Awakener, who tends to kind of shock us, throw a wrench in our plans, give us a wild card energy, shake us up, wake us up, show us a new perspective so that we can see where it is that our time, our energy is needed in order to break away from the old. The moon in this Aries energy, all fired up, tapping into the warrior spirit. This Uranian energy in Taurus, of course, is very grounded, very stable, but also knows that there needs to be some serious change and transformation to our physical realm if we stand a chance in hell in building a particular reality that is aligned with our heart space, aligned with our soul space, instead of continuing to build on the systems and structures that were built out of ego. The sun will then go ahead and interact with Uranus. This is going to shine a bright light on the physical realm, where in our routines, our self-worth, our self-confidence, our relationships, our money matters, our long-term plans, where it is that we do not feel in alignment, where it is that something needs to change, where it is that our comfort zone is no longer feeling comfortable. This should wake us up, shake us up, show us where it is that we have to create a spontaneous change. First, in our mind space. Second, in our heart space. Third, in our ego space, as we have to go ahead, engage the physical body and take action and change, transform, eliminate, release, surrender, anything that is not really providing us a stable footing in moving forward, so that we have the space to create something new in its place. The moon in Aries will then go ahead, trine Venus, who is in Leo energy. We're getting fire on fire action here. What happens when we have fire on fire, you may ask? Well, first of all, we're able to cut through the cords, burn through the cords that are attached to the past. We are then easily able to kind of release whatever it is that is no longer serving us. Then we are able to actually have a spark of imagination, of inspiration, of motivation to actually do what needs to be done. And in this case, where Venus is concerned, this has a lot to do with our personal relationships. The relationships dynamic is changing. We are in Leo energy. This is the heart and soul of the zodiac. If we are not feeling in a raw, authentic alignment with the people that we are sharing space with, then that energy exchange, that relationship dynamic definitely has to be changed, has to be morphed, has to be transformed in some kind of way. We have the boldness, we have the bravery, we have the courage to speak out on how it is that we are thinking and how it is that we are feeling in order to connect on a new level and really understand where all parties are currently standing, how they are all feeling, in order for us to kind of co-create a different type of relationship dynamic with each other. Mercury will go ahead, make a positive interaction with Mars. Mercury now in his place of power, Mars in this fiery energy of Leo, the heart and soul of the zodiac. You best believe that our mental plane is just rapidly processing where it is that we want to take action, where we want to move forward, what it is that we want to pursue, what it is that we're inspired about, what it is that we're excited about, what it is that we're motivated about, and what it is that we actually want to take action on. This is going to fuel us up. This is going to hype us up. We may actually feel this restless anxiety just be pinging off the walls of our inner realm. But here's the thing. The moon is going to go ahead and interact with Saturn. Saturn's the Lord of Karma in this Pisces energy. He rules over systems, structures, foundations, roles, and responsibilities. And you best believe he comes in to knock the wind out of our sails. Why would he want to do that, you may ask? Because we have to slow down. We have to take very careful, strategic steps in moving forward. We can't just go on blast. We can't just go take action, fly by the seat of our pants. This is a time of very structured creation, manifestation. We have to be grounded. We have to be logical. We have to be practical with the energy that we are putting forth. And the biggest lesson with this Aries energy is energy management. We can't pour everything to just get out there and take action willy-nilly. We have to come up with a logical, practical plan on how it is that we are going to build this proper path to help us move forward.